Nintendo announced that after the Grand Fest, consistent updates would stop coming for Splatoon 3. So, I thought, why not take a seat, chillax, and talk about my first time ever trying to find a community based around Splatoon 3 as a game. So, let's backtrack. First off, 9th of September 2022. The game released. I got the day up despite not paying for same day shipping by GameStop, and apparently, some other people got it a few days beforehand, even a month beforehand, if I'm not mistaken. But fast forward then, well, actually, not fast forward yet. I was enthralled in the game. I loved the game. I'd played Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 about a month or so beforehand, and I just beat Octo Expansion like the night or so before, I received my copy of Splatoon 3. So I was new to the game series as much as I wasn't. I was merely getting the games to catch up because I'd never played Splatoon before. So I was enthralled with the game, loved the game. The first day I got it, I was that very night I was trying to play some turf wars, and it's like there's no more players. There's no players playing right now. What do you mean there's no players playing on the launch day? But whatever. In a few months after that, I met my friend Kirby, who we'd met on the Splatoon 3 official Discord server because Nintendo was hosting a tournament. And this was around December. They were hosting on the Battlefly website, if I remember the name correctly. And I was like, hey, do you have any open slots still? And he was like, yeah. And so I joined. I had to make my account. So that was like my first time making an account on Battlefly. I'd never used the website before. And I signed up on his team. Nothing ever came of it. I mean, he never found enough members for it. Um, but it was we still kept in contact, and we ended up becoming great friends to this day. But fast forward to January. January, I had joined. I think it was around January, maybe December, but I had joined a server, very small, maybe a dozen people around that general number. Um, the owner was trying to host his own tournaments and stuff, and I believe they were called like the Splatty Cups or something like that. Some cheesy freaking name. It was dorky, but still funny at the same time. But I'd gone along with the people. I'm not gonna say any names. Not that I remember much, but I'm not gonna say any names for privacy reasons. Um, but I got along with the people. They were chill people, and I was like, you know what, I'll sign up for the tournament. I'm not a pro Splatoon player. I don't advertise myself to be a pro Splatoon player, but I'll give it a try. So I sign up with my account and everything, and fast forward to the day that is supposed to begin. It never began. Uh, so he was the owner, the host was just silent, gone. He did not respond to any of the people in the server. Nada. A few hours later, I believe it was the same day, maybe the next day after or something like that. He was like, I am so sorry. I was in a sports team. I was playing in the sports. I was on TV. People were People didn't take too kindly to what he said. They were upset that he didn't start, and so it just kind of died. It just died. People were mad and they left and all that jazz. I ended up leaving because it was just all going downhill. I was like, you know what? Whatever. Life moves on. Apparently, one of the members of that server had created a new server and invited some of the people from the old server over to the one he created. I didn't know about this until around February when I was invited by, I believe, the owner. I was invited by him to join the server. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Second time's a charm, alright? So I joined the server, and there's less people, maybe half a dozen. I don't know exactly, and it only shows like 4 people in the server list right now, but I don't know, man. So he was attempting to host his own tournaments, which were called like the Ink Cup, I think. Hang on. Yeah. He was trying to host a tournament called Ink Cup. Um, as far as I'm aware, nothing ever came from it. Tournament never happened, and it was kind of silent. And the last message in that server was one of the members being like, "Hey, I'm hosting my own 2v2 tournament called the Last Resort Ball." What a fitting name. But he was trying to host that tournament. That was the last message in the server. No one chatted after that. And to this day, it is inactive. I am still in the server. I never left. I don't know why. But it is, to this day, still inactive. Now, a couple months later, in April, I ended up joining the Splatfest server. But, that's a whole thing of its own. Um, but yeah, that was my first time ever trying to join a community, or in this case, a Discord server based around the game Splatoon 3. Didn't go well. Nothing ever came of it. I don't really chat to. Yeah, no, I don't chat to any of the people that were in the server anymore. I kept in contact with one of them for a little bit, but as of last year, I don't chat to him anymore. It's kind of bittersweet. I always kept it on my server list. I think it was called the. What was it called? The Splatoon 3 New Chatterbox. In all lowercase besides the letter S in Splatoon. And there was no space for between Splatoon and 3. But yeah. I never left, and a couple months later, I ended up joining the Splatfest server, which, like I said, whole different can of worms, whole different story of its own. But I just wanted to take a seat, chillax, Doggo here, he's off camera, and just talk about the very first time I tried to enter, dear God, any community based around Splatoon 3.